Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. Today we're going to take a look at Unlimited Crucible of War. We usually have a regular market update for WTR or Arcane today. I want to focus on how the market reacted to Unlimited Crucible of War. I did not do first edition. I feel like the market is reacting to Unlimited, and the first edition will happen, and it's kind of happening, but it just seems like we're still in the middle of it. There's been a ton of movement on Unlimited Crucible of War. So I want to address that. I want to talk about that. I want to show you the EV tracker. It's going to look a little bit different today for Crucible of War Unlimited. Then later today, if I can get to it, it's going to take a lot of time, and this is why I'm not doing first edition. I want to look at how this announcement affected the average deck price. So I'm going to take some of the top tier decks that we've seen, and if I was a net decker, the decks that I would look at, I'm going to take some that are Monarch and some of that are connected to crew, and then compare them to that are not connected to crew, and we're going to evaluate the average kind of price of a deck, how this announcement has affected somebody who's looking to get into the game, because I haven't seen a ton of that going on in terms of evaluating this. And I think that the biggest I still don't know how I feel about it. This is the issue. We did the podcast today, and I'm just so conflicted still. I don't know how I feel about this announcement. As a collector, as an investor, as a fan of Crucible of War, and somebody who very heavily loved this set, so bought a lot of this set, I love it. But as somebody who wants new players to be able to get into the games, I have a lot of concerns, and I don't want to use the word anger. I just don't understand the announcement. I don't understand why it was Crucible Unlimited versus the other sets. I know that the other sets aren't draftable, or that this set's not draftable. I get that there's reasons, but 3 months doesn't seem like a long enough time to keep this in print. So I want to really evaluate that before I come to my decision on how I feel about this. As somebody who loves Flesh and Blood from a player standpoint, a collector standpoint, who loves the interactions and the new players, and somebody who's really wants this game to grow. And I feel like LSS has been doing, we'll get to it in the video later, but I feel like LSS has been doing a really good job of saying, hey, Unlimited is for the players. There's a lot of cheap decks out there. There's a lot of ways to get into this game. It's not that expensive, and they've been doing a lot of content with content creators that have been focusing on that. Flesh and Blood is not an expensive game, and I think that this announcement kind of does the opposite for people who are net decking, people who are looking for new deck ideas, or people who want to switch over to Dorinthia or to Rhinar or some deck lists. So we're going to talk about that later, but first let's see how the market reacted to Crew Unlimited. Keep in mind that this is all going to be kind of a knee-jerk market reaction. There could be retracements based on this. The rumor that there's a lot more product at distribution is not accurate to my knowledge. What I'm hearing from distributors is that they are going to be giving like a case a week to stores until they're out. That's what I'm hearing. So I don't think we're going to hit a huge influx of this product. So be careful buying, selling, use these prices as just a guide for how the market reacted. So let's pop up. We're going to look at this spreadsheet because I can't get the graphics to update because it hasn't been a week. So we're just going to be looking at the old school spreadsheet here. Let me move this on over to my other monitor. So, let me pop this up too. I didn't want to do this, but we're going to pop up this too. First edition Crucible of War. This is how the market reacted to the Crucible of War out of print announcement, the first one for first edition. We had boxes that were sitting at 120. They jumped up to 170, and then they flatlined at a product, because this is what happened when distributors were giving about a case a week for Crucible of War first edition. That was this flat line. That's that time period. And then distributors ran out of product here, and then later on we got to the print run announcement, and that's when this went up, right? That's the history. So I think if you look at Unlimited, you can expect the same trajectory. We're going to kind of flatline around these prices. That's my opinion. Anyway, now let's get into this. So box prices are selling for $158 today on TCG Player. I know there's been other stores that have them for cheaper. Good on those stores. That's awesome. I'm also hearing a lot of canceled orders from last night. Right now, TCG Player, there are sold listings, and there are available at $158 a box. Real quick, you're going to see Crucible of War outvalue Monarch First Edition, and you're going to see Crucible of War outvalue Tales of Aria First Edition in this video. just a heads up. Brace yourself for that. As we get to the Fable, it started out at $500. It dropped down to a low of around $200, $178, and now it's $645 on TCG Player sold listing. Do you guys want me to pull up some of these? I mean, I can pull up some of these. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this kind of. I'm still reacting to this myself, honestly. I'm working on this other video too. So we're at 645. I guess we can pull up TCG Player here. The shard, the thing about the shard is, like, where are they going to reprint it? Where are they going to reprint this? They're going to put it in another set. So somebody has just listed one for $326. $699 was the last sold listing. So we'll change that. We'll change that live for you right now. These sold for $600. Look at how many of them sold. This is a seller. And no. Let's see what other listings are. We'll to $645. We're doing how the market reacted. That's how we're doing this. So that seller had no reviews. There's one that sold from no reviews. So we'll kind of, there's been enough sold. We're doing how the market reacted. So, all right, legendaries. You've got Cheyenne up to 277. You've got the Tunic to 190. So, like, this is one issue. No, we're not doing that. We're doing how the market reacted. Tunic is now $190. That was down to $125 2-3 weeks ago. All right, this is where things get super interesting. Majestic rainbow foils. You're starting to see. Did I need to make this smaller? Sorry, this is not how we usually do this. I really wish I could have gotten that thing to work. All right, you're starting to see a lot of the majestic rainbow foils selling. You can see the percentages. We'll see the percentage at the end. You're starting to see Skullhorn up to $35. If I make this all bold for you. So I've never used this sheet because this sheet came out after the new sheet stuff worked. Skullhorn at $35, Beast Within at $20, Massacre at $20, Arc Smash at $19. Like, things like Crater Fist, the low on it right now is $92. Breeze Rider Boots at $22, Fine Center at $25. Let's see what Crater Fist, actual sold listings. Crater Fist. Let's see where that one's landing. You can see people are like, I just did these numbers. So 75. See, that was the one that sold at 93. So I just did these numbers an hour ago, and already one has sold at 79 and 75. So you might see a crash back down, a retracement. We'll go 75 with these. You might see a retracement, but I don't think that retracement is going to last that long, honestly. There's just not enough product. Breeze Rider Boots sold for $22.64. Fine Centers up to $25. Courage of Bladehold, like $90. Spoils of War, $27. Videotronic, $30. A lot of the equipment. Remorseless, this is the big one. Remorseless, a card that's used in Lexi, sitting at $75. Bloodsheath Skeleton, up to $90. You're seeing a Gambler's Glove, $75. You're seeing 100% increase of cards on average. Cogs of Commotion from $1 to $10. If people are starting to think, oh, is the next supplemental set that they're probably going to announce at the end of the year or beginning of the year, is that set going to be PvE? A lot of people, speculate on that. Like, there's a lot of things going on. Regular Majestics, your average foil Majestic sitting at 27. Your regular Majestics, everything's up here too. Your average regular Majestic is $21 right now. That's up 119%. Remember yesterday I said this is yesterday I said the prices are up because the demand is there for the cards. This is where I don't understand why it was Crucible. There's got to be we talked about it a little bit on the podcast. There's got to be something else going on that they had to do with Crucible. I don't know if there was a printer issue. I know people have been talking about the first edition not being printed for Tales of Aria, not being printed in the US printers. Did they have an issue at the printer level, and that's why they had to out of print it? Courage of Bladehold at $70-$80. Like, these are the prices that we were seeing for Crucible first edition cards when we were saying the players need the cards. The players need the cards. So maybe we retrace back down. But the price point just seems really high right now, and the market, what they have effectively said with this announcement is it's okay to invest in Unlimited And the market is doing that. They are investing in unlimited. So 119% up, sitting at $21.73. You're even seeing this like on the rare rainbow foils. We're at 38%. Like I'm guessing this $3 one or $2 one is Marvin Sky's Blue. Yeah. So like you're seeing this happening there too. So your average is sitting at 79 cents. Okay, let's get to the EV calculation. This is where things get crazy. Like right now, the box EV is $187. If you take out the legendaries, it's $163. Did we talk about Cheyenne? Did I skip Cheyenne? Cheyenne up to 277. That'll be an interesting one because that one's not not a playable hero. That's like the collectors. And actually, I'm curious if that's changed here. Cheyenne. There's just so few of these. It's like a Cheyenne pull 276, a Cheyenne pull, oh my gosh, and there's a first edition one that's starting to sell. So that'll be really interesting to see how this affects first edition as you see unlimited and the demand that is for the cards increase. But you can see here a great percentage of this value is in these majestics, and actually that one is, yeah, this is for 6 majestics. That's been changed already. This is for 6 majestics because they did a really good job. So this is for 6 majestics, is sitting at $95 on average just in your majestics. That is what I've been saying about this set, is that it is so full of playable majestics. Every card on average, I did the math, on average the card price of yesterday. Yeah, this is, let me pull it up as I'm thinking about it. On average, the card price yesterday was like $8. So for Majestic from Crew yesterday was $9.93 on average, right? That was before the announcement. Monarch was $7 on average from Majestic. Arcane Rising without Command and Conquer was like $6. If you add Command and Conquer, it was $18. So you can see like a huge difference. WTR was $5.50 without E-Strike. If you add E-Strike, which is the outlier, it's $11. So the average Majestic in Crucible of War is so playable. You don't have these huge skews. They're used all over the place. And so that's what I don't understand. I just don't. We're going to get into this. What I'm going to do, hopefully tonight, if I can get time, maybe it'll be a video tomorrow, but it's to take the average deck list, take just 4 or 5 net deck lists. If I were a new player, deck lists that I would go look and play, and pop them in and use the prices from before this announcement, and then use the most recent updated prices for the card and see how much does that card cost, how much does that deck list cost now? Because I think that's a really interesting take for this. As a collector, this popped back to my face. As a collector, I'm stoked. I'm super excited. I think this is great. It's great for investors. It's great for collectors. Where this falls is like the average player, like a new player. And I know like people have the cards already and the current players have the cards already. But it's not like you saw a ton of these boxes sitting in the local game stores. Now, I know that Channel Fireball had a bunch of boxes that they weren't able to sell. I know that Star City Games was selling them below map 3 days ago. Like, I know that the big box stores had a lot of product and they weren't moving it in the way that they wanted to move it. But as a smaller retailer, like, I never had Crucible of War sitting here. Like, I could never get enough of it from distribution for the people that I needed it for. And so I don't understand. I know the comment section is going to be like, Crucible of War or Unlimited wasn't going to be in print forever. I know that. But 3 months, that was the goal, was 3 months. And again, I'm so conflicted because I love this set and I love that like the first edition boxes they've got to be, the first edition boxes have got to be skyrocketing, right? I haven't even looked them up. Crucible of War first edition. I would imagine that this is going to react like Crucible of War is now the most rare. It's apparently not like 650. This makes no sense, guys. The world makes no sense to me. This is the 815. That makes more sense. 830. That makes more sense. These recent sales at 650 don't make a whole lot of sense. I was just you couldn't see that. That's fine. I thought you could. So the way that the market is going to react to this will dictate, are players going to be able to And you're right, players don't need the Crucible cards to play the game. But my thing is that I think people are going to look up decks online. Those decks that are high tier decks that come up when they look them up are going to include Crucible cards. They're going to look them up, and a remorseless is going to be $75. And is that going to prevent people from hopping in? And like, I know there's been some speculation about, hey, later on in the year, are they going to reprint all these cards in another set? Hey, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I honestly think that I know they put in the announcement that they can reprint them, whatever. I think that the next set is going to be a supplemental set for the new talents and the new heroes. That's what makes the most sense. But what happens for the next 5 months? What happens for the next 5 months of like new players coming in and seeing the calling and seeing seeing all these things? Like, I don't get it. There's got to be another reason. And if there's another reason, that's great. Like, if there's another reason, like if something happened with the print run and they weren't able to get it done, just didn't make logistical sense, and there's issues there, and like, that's a reason, and I would love to hear that reason. If this is just like, hey, we want to do something for collectors, which is what it feels like based upon Rudy's video and based upon like the reactions to my videos, it's so polarized. The collectors are all like, yeah, and the players are like, but like, I didn't get any, I never had any boxes. Like, I never got the cards, that my store never had it in stock. And so like, if this was just for the collectors, as a avid collector of this game, I don't understand it. This is one of those things I just don't get. I want to defend LSS on this because I want to, and that's why I wish that there was more information. Give us some more of the reasoning behind it. Give us your, what did you see on the market? Because what I see on the market is demand for the product, whereas a lot of the other unlimited is just sitting. The singles, there's demand for the singles, and here we are, and I just don't get it. So I'm trying to figure out my feelings. I'm trying to figure out my laser focus on, like, as a collector, I'm ecstatic that Crucible of War is going to go up in value. I have some Crucible of War. I collect it. I love it. It's my favorite set. You all know that. I'm going to win a bet with George. That was my reaction to it yesterday. It was like, I'm going to win a bet with George and with Mitch. But today I'm like, ooh, but like, prices are up 110%, 120%. Ugh. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. So that's my reaction. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section as we move forward through this whole wild ride that Flesh and Blood is. And, man, if I'm a player right now, I'm a little upset. If I'm a collector, I'm ecstatic. If I'm a player, if I'm a person who is an advocate for the players, I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to react to this I need more information before I can react to it in a positive way. As a collector, though, woo! Crucible of War to the moon, baby! I just fear what it does for the players. So, all right, LSS, I love you. I don't know. I'm trying really hard to be positive, but I don't understand everything that's going on. But anyway, see ya. Bye. Be kind to the people around you. I forgot it.